Welcome to the VHF UHF channel, and we are continuing today in the configuration of Orbitron on your computer. I show you where to get Orbitron. I've shown you how to install it. Make sure that the two-line elements update. I've shown you how to set up the different map, set your location. Now it's time to choose the correct satellite list. That's the important part for radio listening. So once you're in Orbitron, you've set your city, you know that everything's all right. You look at your clock, make sure that it's correct. You want to click the Load TLE button here. The satellites that we can listen to on VHF UHF are, and to actually have all of them together, you will hold the Control key on your keyboard. So locate the CTRL key on the bottom left of your keyboard, hold it. You'll click Amateur, which is the amateur radio satellites. CubeSat, which is also part of the amateur radio satellites. Then you will go to lower in the list. You will go to, and you never stop holding the Control key, very important. You will go to the NNSS, which is navigation and all sorts of navigation satellites from the United States that, even though today don't transmit anymore, there's chances that you might hear it. You'll click NOAA, which is the NOAA weather ones that you might want to monitor. Of course, the Orbcom, and as you're choosing, you see that the selection stays colored. It's very important. And then you go down, and pretty much everything is in here from what I see. So remember, Orbcom, NOAA, you want to have the CubeSat, the amateur, and you want to have the Muson, one that I forgot here, MUSSON. These are the transmitting Cosmos satellites. You won't load the other satellite lists because they are of no use for radio listening on the VHF UHF range. What I show you here is what you can hear. The rest of the list are for other types of satellites. One word of interest maybe for some of you, if you live in a very dark sky environment, you can load the visual, but I would probably say to load it alone. The visual is the top satellites, the most bright satellites that you can see in the sky. So if you want to track satellites and view the satellite passing overhead at night, that would be the visual.txt for those. But apart from that, you don't touch anything else. You just click the open button and they'll all be loaded here. You should see a mix of amateur radio satellites, Cosmos satellites, and of course the different Orbcom, the NOAA for weather. So these are a lot of the radio satellites. But then again, word of caution. Among this list, some satellites do not transmit anymore. So trying to find what transmit or not is a very important one. So here, if I go fast through the list, I would probably start by clicking AAUSat 5 that I know is transmitting. BSat is another one that's transmitting right now. ChubuSat 1 might be an interesting one. All the Cosmos ones I would put, and you notice that every time you put a check mark, the satellite appears on the map. So the idea is to have as much as possible that's interesting, but not too much to overload the map. CubeBug 1, CubeBug 2, CO57, 58, 55, 65, DO64, that's good. If we continue, we'll also have Eagle 2, EastQt 1. Some of them I'm not gonna click right now, but some I will because of some known satellites sometimes. So AO73, then we'll go to ISS for the International Space Station, and Let's just check out what else I would add. Jugnu apparently still works. There, Lemur maybe, but I'm not sure. So leave out sometimes the ones you're not sure. NSS is interesting. These are navigation satellites in the 149 megahertz range. Now, those usually don't transmit anymore, but it's surprising. I've heard some of those when they're passing by with broken transmitters that were still transmitting all sorts of spurious signals. In the NOAA, the 3 known satellites that are working right now, NOAA 19, 18, and 15, those are sure bets. But don't hesitate to check out the other ones. Once again, some satellites will wake up mysteriously and work. More navigation satellites here in NOVA 11, NOVA 3, NOVA 1. The Orbcomm satellites, which I like to monitor from time to time when they pass over. Orbcomm are satellites used for satellite phone calls, and that's why there's a lot of them. So you see the map is getting full here. I will put all of them, but one of the things about Orbcomm, a lot of them aren't transmitting, so if you ever get a list of working satellites, it could be better than choosing everything on the list here, of course. So, and of course, this is only an example, okay? I'm showing you this, but if you want to have more or less, it's up to you. I'm showing you what I will usually put on the map. The Orbcomm, there's a lot of Orbcomm, so this one fills up the map a lot. You could put up the Oscar. Another thing that I do sometimes and that you can try, and by the way, Oscar here is not the Oscar satellites from amateur radio, but the navigation satellites from the United States. Very important to know the difference. One of the things you can do is, for example, set satellites for certain groups. So for example, you say, well, today I only want to track the Orbcomm, so maybe you can remove the check marks of the other ones and just put Orbcomm, because you see that it really gets a lot of stuff on the map. And of course, there's Polar Bear here. Another one, well, there's of course a few ones like I know that Sprout is one of the satellites that's working right now. Anything that you know that's transmitting. SwissCube is still working. Tyros N is broken because this is no satellite, but sends spurious signals, so I'll try it. UK Cube or UK Cube, UCube. That's another one. And I'll not put anything else, but of course, as you see the frequency list, and that's another part of our videos, I'll be posting frequency lists that you can check for. So now you see my location, Montreal. The little stars are satellites. You can click a satellite and see what's on. For example, now I click that star next to Montreal. I see that the International Space Station is coming through. And if I put my radio on 145.825 to see if there's some packet, I should normally right now hear some packet out of the International Space Station. That's one way that I'll know that it's actually passing by. Make sure that you load the latest files of the satellites often, so that you're sure that they're up to date. For most satellites, even a month or two is not too bad, but for the International Space Station, it will be extremely important. If you enjoy my videos, want to subscribe to my channel, you'll be informed when new videos are online. Give us thumbs up if you like the videos, and hope that you enjoyed this series of videos on choosing the satellites. Now we'll go to the lists of frequencies for satellites in the next few videos and explain what these satellites are. So thank you for watching, hope you enjoy, and please, if you have any comments, questions, let us know. Hope you enjoy the videos.